Okay. You just heard a few testimonies of how things they try to manipulate me to experience. Um, they wanted to play the femme fatale. They wanted to do all this fantasy. They wanted me to subscribe to these pedophilia things they do to me. All of that, as much as they manipulate me and boxing these ways of thinking in my brain and try to make me subscribe to this, I've never given. I didn't even give that to them. And I'm purposely doing these videos knowing that it's not going to change anything, but I just don't want them to live a life where they can look at themselves and respect themselves. They're going to have to dumb themselves down. And they use this childlike individual. I remember I saw this trash as she looked like a kid. And, you know, in this program they use childlike shit. Excuse me. Let me compose myself a little bit. I don't want to curse. These childlike individuals who are perps, right? You hear target individuals saying, "Yeah, my next door neighbor is this and that. Is a 14-year-old kid. Is this is the one involved in my programming?" When in reality, they just use this kind of people because the technology has the ability to do that. It's nasty, but that's what they do. And I remember when I was looking like in the people, I saw like this like kind of chubby, short little kid. I don't know if it was the mother or the kid, and she did like this thing. I was like, "Oh, you trash! Look at this loser!" And then she disappeared. And I'm like, whatever, this is what they use, right? They use these bottom feeders like that, and that's what they do. And in my head, they try to make me imagine, well, they say they're going to frame me, right? And I believe that they're going to frame me one way or another. They say that they're going to implant things in my apartment, which they have many chances to do that. Whenever I'm out, they can easily come in and do whatever they want. They say they're going to implant child porn on my computer, which of course they can easily do that. They have access to my computers, and they can implant whatever they want to my devices. And one thing they said is like they said something about some neighbors here is gonna say that some kids here, some neighbors, these trash kids over there, is gonna say that I did something to her and whatever, or some BS in using these people here, which are trash. It's funny because with the amount of videos I talk about how my perps are these neighbors are bottom feeders and everything else. I'm glad that they're gonna humiliate these people in this fashion because I literally use videos. But one thing I know that they can are capable. Well, I don't know, but I've heard in from testimonies is the ability to control people when they sleep. 2 seconds ago, as you can see on my eyes, I crashed. I ate something and then went in my bed and just like I couldn't function. So because they do things to my organs and I'm not digesting in a proper way, something is happening to me. I understand that. So once I ate like a meal of some sort, I just like, ooh, I just doze off big time. It's not even normal. I don't eat that much, but something is not responding well to my body, and so my body crashes, and that just happened. But in that moment, I woke up, and unfortunately, I have like a little thing to block my door, but I didn't put that. But anyways, it's not like a top security thing, and so they make me imagine. I don't know if it's true that one of these next door kid came in and did something to me or like took a picture with me or some BS story like that. I don't know if it's true, right? Obviously, I was out, right? So, but they make me imagine that, and I know they have a lot of control over people. Now, for me, I don't know if that have happened, and I don't think it has happened, but they can make me imagine that, and I'm like, listen, this bottom feeder, I can hear her try to be like, oh, so like she's trying to be like super like femme fatalish, like this avenging bunch of women as if they never. I just heard the testimony of Mariana, this woman who was saying that her sexual tortures, are so they're so disgusting, right? They would torture her every day and every night when she's awake sexually, right? And those torturing consisted of zapping her genitals and doing things to her genital to the point where there was discharges and other things coming out of her genitals because of what they do, because of the mean things they do. And so I know this bottom feeders living next to me, that's what they're involved in, right? And so when they try to play this femme fatale like trash, I remember it's like, you know what you guys do to women, right? You're just a bottom feeder, trash, and nasty low life, involving in torturing women and children. And this government-led program is so foul, but contract these bottom feeders, whose job is to do these things to people, including children. So I'm like, whatever you're gonna do, it's gonna come back to you. You're a nasty low life. I'd rather die like this. And imagine being a child and already being this compromised in life, already being so fouled in this level that there's no coming back. And they try to use childlike voices as if that's going to change. I know they use children to do these bad things to people. Not because they're genius, it's because they're the trash. These people are trash. And they go, trash gonna do what trash do. But imagine being this young and you're already this nasty, this is always done. And I'm hearing these people outside yelling, we're evil, because there's so much pedophilia and these entities contracting them that some people think this is evil. And so they try to be like, oh, look, we're evil. Say, yes, you're just weak. The entities that contract you are perhaps evil. You're just a bottom feeder working for pedophiles. You work for pedophiles and you do nasty things to women and children. And rapes and sexual torture are used to break people down. Yes, you control children are your colleagues. That's why somebody thought there was a 14-year-old next door person doing this to her, to him. Or it wasn't the reason why it was happening to him. So me, they're like, oh, we're gonna say that this kid you did this to this kid. It's like, whatever. Sell your children's soul too. And your brother and your sister and everybody. It's better. Me, I've accepted whatever comes back. I'm just whatever comes to me. Thank God I didn't have to live my life like this. Thank God. I could have been this kid. I could be this trash living next door. You've seen these pictures of people I'm talking about. So if it's true that while I'm asleep, they have the ability to control me and make me do something where whatever, I can get out of my apartment and whatever. I don't know if it's true, but do your nasty things. But one thing is for sure, I will never let them live their fantasy. These people who torture women and children, who involve in tormenting and killing kids. Oh, sorry, not killing them, torturing them. Killing, I don't know if it's the right word because they live a long life of torture and torment. This trash who've been recognized by women being tortured, saying, why is there so many women involved in this? There is nothing they can never live that fantasy with me. I'm sorry. They try. I remember when there was a woman next to me, or some female. She was crying because I was listening to all the testimonies of what they do to women, and she wanted me to see her as this like femme fatale. In reality, they're just the trash the government uses, and they wanted to use the gender as a way to create the psyop. And they're like, oh, it's finished. It was like, oh my gosh, really? Just to disorient me. Of course, I know the entities are governmental. Once you're a target individual, you're done. And they use these losers who find this as winning ways of... So for me, I'm looking forward to the day I see this trash for what they are. They don't want to see me in person for sure. All this little fantasy of how they try to create this... There's a reason they don't want to be seen by me, is because I see them truly for what they're part of and what they do. They can't play the femme fatale. They can't play these people protecting. When they just joke around, oh, we're evil. It's like, yeah, but why? Because there's a bunch of pedophiles in the entities that contract you low lives, that do things to kids? Or is it because you're involved in a program that torture babies too? And you can manipulate people to think like that? Oh, because even women are being raped and tormented every day. Is that why you're calling yourself evil? To me, I will never let them live their fantasy. Target individuals, I'm just so thankful. But for me, the day I get to see them in person, in whatever circumstances, I will be thankful. And I do look forward to seeing them. Because they've been telling me about how they're going to frame me, how they're going to do this and that. It's like, no. Do your thing. Watch how it comes back to you. Do I need to hope for? It's funny how they try to make me think that I'll hope for something bad to happen. And I'm looking at them. Have you seen these pictures I've shown? Do you have to hope for anything bad when you see these people? When you hear the children, it's like, when I saw this like chubby little fat, it looked like a kid, or I don't know if it's a child or if it's just the mother. It's like, do I need to be hopeful for that? Look at that. What about the other ones? Like, look at them. It's just a matter of time. When? But to all my target individuals, stay strong. I look forward to seeing them. I truly do. I know it means it's going to be a bad situation, bad circumstances for me. It's going to be when they frame me, or when the frame starts, or no, when I discover this framing. But I will never let them live their fantasy. Yesterday I was talking to Perp, right? And I was letting her know. It's like my neighbors, I have no connection to them. I don't care much about them. I have zero relationship with any of them. I don't talk to them. I don't care about them. If anything, I appreciate them to show themselves so I can take pictures and make these videos. But besides, I don't care. She was trying to like stop me from saying that. Because I don't know what they're prepping over there. But for me, I'm going to humiliate them. They will never be able to see themselves normally. And it's funny, they were like, oh, it's going to be awful. You're going to be tortured. I was like, and what's going to happen to you again? Are we going to be watching you? Oh, okay. And then? Oh, you don't know? It's going to be awful. In different ways. It's just anything that happens to you, you'll be like, oh my gosh, is that the time? Is that the time for what I've involved myself in doing to people and torturing them and doing all? It's going to be very scary. Scarier than whatever you're going to see me go through. Because for me, I've accepted that there's an end. And as a target individual, it's going to come through. What's going to happen to me has happened to women and children. And this dignity in my death. They know what they signed up for. They call themselves evil, try to be funny. But they understand. And it was not fierce. It was not bravery. It was not daring. There's some things they do to women and children too. The same stuff. And then they've been humiliated in real time. They've used these childlike individuals who used to call themselves, oh, we're noble. It's like, yeah, they do the same. Even another target individual, they literally use kids to torment them too. If I've shown you what this person I think I saw, I don't know if it's a mother or it's like a chubby look like teenage kid. You know, in my mind they try to they stimulate me and just create some BS stuff. But you know that you look at this person, this is like suicide waiting to happen. You gotta be strong. So, for me, I'm not gonna let them escape. Whatever's gonna happen to me, and they keep telling me I'm gonna be raped and tortured, they're gonna put me in a hole, I'm gonna be freezing, I'm gonna be on the floor, all these horrible things, which I do believe that it's gonna happen. I don't want it, but it's just like, okay, well, God give me strength for whatever I'm gonna go through, but thank you. Because I know what's happening for them, they don't know. And it's scarier because they had the chance to be living a life with dignity. They had the chance to do that. But the weak low life that they are, the cowards low life that they are, the bottom feeders that they are, they chose to be involving in a program that does these things to even children and women. Because they're opportunists. And now look at this trash. Hiding, don't even want to be seen. waiting for the days for that to come back to them, saying things and running into their apartments. They could have done anything they wanted in the world, and this is what wow, that's the scariest part. Me, I'm like, this is dignified. I feel like in this movie of a life, I'm a dignified man who's far from perfect, who has his own imperfection, even though they're trying to be erased, is now here being the most noble individual, being a better human than this trash that even compromised the kids. Then he's gonna die like this. That is dignified. Well, this trash program that torture women and children, the people in charge of this, the entities in charge, filled with pedophiles, they are cowardly, they are psyops, they are everything a human should never aspire to be. They manipulate people to think in this most foulest ways. They spend and dedicate their limited life that they know is limited in these things. They are beyond cowards. They are weak as the weakness has a face is them. And they're just waiting for the day for all these horrible things that are going to happen to me, which will change nothing in their life. And then they will die. Thank you, God. You've seen those pictures. So to all my target individuals, for this trash calling you nothing, and they're using their tonality, which is another thing I'm glad I never had to do. So you're nothing. There's a grown man said that like that, because he's supposed to make me agitated. To all my target individual, you could have been that. There's something that does that. So stay strong.